Back in 2019, I built this workstation so I could edit. Haven't cleaned it since, and it looks like it's getting a little buildup of dust. Shining a light into the case reveals a coating of dust, and this unit just sits on a glass desktop. It's not even down where the carpeting is. So, and it does have filters on the front, on the top, really nothing on the back, but that's mostly exhaust. And then there's a filter underneath for the power supply. 2019, 2022, today. So in this video, we're going to clean out all the dust and dirt that's caught up in this machine. After shutting down the computer, we remove all our connections, disconnect all the wiring from the back, and basically all I really need to take with me is the box. I'm going to take the side off, park that somewhere where it's safe so we don't break it, and I'm going to take this to an area where we can use an air compressor and get some of the dirt off of it. I'm also going to tape the fans in position because you don't want them, especially if you're using compressed air, spinning because you could damage the bearings on that. So attaching the blade to the frame with a piece of tape should do it. Just wanted to show you the amount of dust that can collect and get sucked into your machine. And again, this is sitting on glass. If your machine is sitting on carpeting or next to carpeting, then you're going to have a lot more infiltration of dust and hair. And again, if you have a pet in the house, that makes it even worse. So probably shouldn't wait as long as I did. Computer sitting on a workbench, got a wrist strap, so I'm grounding myself to the unit. And first thing we're going to do is just an all-purpose cleaner, and we're going to wipe down the outside of the case and anything that we can get easily into. Why not just come in here where the air compressor start blowing stuff around? Because then we're just blowing stuff around. So I'd rather remove as much of the dust and dirt that's attached to things on the outside of the frame. We'll take off the grill, wipe that down, and we're going to set that aside so it doesn't get all dirty as we clean off the rest of the frame. And this is the blow gun, which allows me to vary that pressure from very light to a hard puff. And again, I'm feeding 40 pounds into the unit, but I probably won't be using that high of a setting. With the exterior case wiped down, I wanted to show you this blade here. And you see that white? That's not actually paint. That is dirt that's built up as it's trying to keep the case cool. That will make your fan a little noisier, a little less efficient. So it'd be nice to get those off. And again, I'm not just blowing dirt in there. I'm not blowing air in there to spin the blade around like crazy. That's not good for the bearings. But I am going to wipe each of the blades down. We placed a little black tape right there to the frame and to the blade. Now I'm going to come in and again, the idea is not to spin the blade with this. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now we move on to the next component. Our CPU cooler is this Noctua, and it has 2 fins and 2 fans. We're not going to take this unit out because if I do that, then I have to reset the thermal paste. And being that we're just a few years out from when I assembled it, I don't see any need to really do that. But what I will do is I will clean out the fans, take off the fans, and then blow out these fins. Once again, we've put a little tape to the blade and to the frame so it can't move around. And I'm just going to come in there with a all-purpose cleaner and just wipe down the leading edge of the blade. Oh, slipped a little there, didn't it? And then I'm going to blow this out. And since I can't get access to the second blade, I'm going to have to physically just take that fan out. And I'll also take this one out of the way to blow out the fins. Here's a close-up of that cooling fin. And as you see, it's caked up with a lot of dust and dirt. So definitely going to have to get that out of there. With both of the fans out of the way, I'm going to blow air. Now the air's been traveling this way and getting caught. So I'm going to blow it back out. Of course, that means I'm just going to pour more dust onto the back side of these drives and the media panel, but I'll have to clean that too once I'm done cleaning this. After cleaning the fins, you should notice a big difference in how they look. There's no dust, dirt on them. And now what I did was I also blew out the rest of the cage, and my decision next is, do I take out the graphics card and clean that, because the fans on that are on the underside. So I should take that out. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just reinstall the fans so that they're out of the way. Make sure if you use tape to hold things in place that you remove the tape. I've placed the computer on its side to make it easier to remove the graphics card. So with that out of the way, we take a close-up look and we see that there's that white stuff again on the blades, so we're going to have to get that out. So what I'm going to do is wipe the blades down, and I'm not going to take apart the case to get to the inside, but what I will do is tape the blades to the frame and then just blow air through the unit. There are fins down here at the bottom, fins on the top, so we'll push air in and around that, and of course there's an exhaust port on the back side. Once clean, the graphics card is reinstalled. Make sure to remove any tape you may have applied to the fans, and of course you want to make sure that you plug it back in. With some of the other filters, they can either be washed in warm soapy water, or you can use the compressed air to clean these out. Don't forget to clean out the power supply. This one sits at the bottom of the unit, so you have to get it from two sides. And you also just want to wipe down and clean off the bottom of the unit. The final step is just to go over everything and make sure that if you disconnected anything, it gets reconnected and everything's screwed properly. And then you're ready to take this back to your work location. Cleaning the system will result in a machine that runs quieter, cooler, and thereby being more efficient. Now, I haven't put on the glass panel just so you can see that it's a lot different than when you first saw it. This will probably take maybe half an hour, depending on how much and how complicated your system is and how much you need to take out. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you very much for watching.